Welcome back to another post today, and let's complete our most important points for the UPSC upcoming preliminary examination of 2025 with regard to June 30th. So we have reached the last day of June 30th. I mean to say the last day of June, that's June 30th. And the very first thing that you need to track for today is about the UN First meaning for gastronomy. So the United Nations Tourism and the Basque Culinary Center and the Government of Philippines organized the very first UN Tourism Regional Forum for Gastronomy Tourism in Asia and Pacific on 26th and 27th of June 2024 at Cebu in Philippines. Now the Philippines is hosting this UN First Regional Forum on Gastronomy in Cebu in conjunction with the United Nations Tourism Annual Joint Meeting at the Commission for East Asia and Pacific and the Commission for South Asia as well. Now organized by the Government of Philippines, the UN Tourism and Spain-based affiliate Basque Culinary Center, one of the world's top gastronomy and nutrition schools. The event was focused on policies to advance culinary tourism in the region and preserve the local traditions, and also to protect the land and the products of the sector's sustainability initiatives that help to address climate change. Now food tourism, let me tell you, is one of the growing and the dynamic sector, offering enormous potential for economic growth and advancement and cultural exchange among the nations as well. So the next most important issue is with regard to UNRWA. Now this agency has been in news many a times. Let me tell you that it is the only United Nations agency that is dedicated to a particular community and a particular region. So this agency, which is called as the United Nations Refugee Agency for United Nations Relief and Works Agency for the Palestinian refugees in the Near East, is a UN agency that supports the relief and human development work of Palestinian refugees, formed as early as 1948 after the Nakba or the Palestinian War and the subsequent conflicts, as well as to protect the Palestinians as well as the dissidents now. This agency employs over 30,000 people, most of them Palestinian refugees, and a small number of the international staff. Now originally it was intended only to provide employment and direct relief as mandated by its as the agency. So but however, its mandate included to provide education, healthcare and social services to the target population as well. Now this agency operates in 5 areas with regard to the Palestinians, that's Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Gaza Strip and the West Bank, and also the East Jerusalem region. Now this it provides aid for the Palestinian refugees in these 5 of these areas, and also the other areas where the Palestinians are located, and the other areas are served by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, established in 1950 as a main agency to aid all other refugees worldwide. And the next most important issue is with regard to People's Union for Civil Liberties. Now this organization is a human rights body. It is very much in news almost every month, I should tell you, and because of the immense number of PILs that it files in the Supreme Court. So it fights for human rights, and it was formed in 1976 by Jayaprakash Narayana, and it was called at that time as the People's Union for Civil Liberties and Democratic Rights. Now it was formed to oppose the civil and political rights that were suppressed during the time of emergency in the year 1975 to 1977. And the next most important issue with regard to LCA Mk1A, that is LCA Mk1A, which is the light combat aircraft developed by HAL, called as the Tejas Mk1A. Now it is being produced by HAL, and it was designed by the Ministry of Defense in 1921 for delivery. So the LCA Mk1A is capable is much more advanced than the LCA Mk1 jet aircraft. These fighter jets are to be powered by the GEF 404 engine, and a much more powerful version is also being developed by the HAL, called as the LCA Mk2, which is under development, and it will have an engine called as GEF 414. So Tejas is the second supersonic aircraft developed by HAL, or Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, after the HF-24 Marut. Now let me tell you that the light combat aircraft replaces the MiG-21 of the IAF. And the next most important issue is with regard to National Disaster Response Force. Now, this force was in news recently with regard to your heavy rainfall regions that happened all of a sudden in the Union Capital, in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. Now, it is under the National Disaster Management Authority, and it is headed by a Director General, the Director General of the NDRF, our IPS officers, and also from deputation from Indian police organizations. So, the Director General is a 3-star officer of the NDRF. Now, it is created under Disaster Management Act of 2005. It has the responsibility of managing disasters in India, and also of that of the state government as well. The nodal ministry in the central government for management of natural disasters is none other than the Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, when calamities of severe nature occur, the central government is responsible for providing aid and assistance to the affected state, including deployment at the state request, and also the armed forces, central paramilitary forces, National Disaster Response Force, and such other communication, air and other assets that are available and are needed as well. The next most important issue is with regard to the Deputy Speaker. Now, the Deputy Speaker election and appointment is still not happened. So, the opposition party is putting across its name for the Deputy Speaker post. Now, the importance of the Deputy Speaker is that it is the second ranking highest authority in the Lok Sabha after the Speaker, the lower house of the Parliament. Now, he or she acts as a presiding officer when there is an absence or leave of the Speaker due to death or illness of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. And as per Article 93, we have both the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker mentioned in Article 93. It says that when the House or the lower house of the people shall soon as may be choose 2 members as Speaker and Deputy Speaker as soon as the offices become vacant. However, does not provide a specific time frame within which the Speaker or the Deputy Speaker should be appointed, and also no qualifications are given, as well as the age as well. It is a parliamentary convention to appoint the Speaker from the ruling party and the Deputy Speaker from the opposition party. So, the next most important issue with regard to trans-boundary rivers now in India. So, we had the Teesta River in discussion recently during the visit of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to India. So, we have some important trans-boundary rivers. The most important is Ganga, then the second is Brahmaputra, as we know. The other one is Ichamati River now between India and Bangladesh. We have Indus River, which flows through China, India and Pakistan. We have Ganges River between Bangladesh and India. We have the Ichamati River between Bangladesh and India. We have the Brahmaputra River between Bangladesh, China and India. And there are many other rivers. The major rivers of transboundary or international flow are the Rhine River, then the Rhine River, Nile River, Niger River, Meuse River, the Mekong River, Irrawaddy River, the Indus, Ichamati, Ganges, Euphrates, the Dnieper and the Daugava River. The Daugava flows between Belarus, Latvia and Russia. Danube River, the Columbia River, Colorado River, Brahmaputra, and the largest is the Amazon River. So these are some of the most important transboundary rivers. Apart from that, we also have Rhine, Rhone, Rio Grande, Tigris, Yukon, and also the Zambezi River in Africa. And the next most important issue with regard to Kenya. Now, Kenya has seen protests because of the people having concerns and criticisms regarding the finance bill. Now, Kenya has taken a loan from IMF, and we know that IMF is an international organization which provides some conditions on which it provides loan. So, the IMF was created in 1944. It is one of the Bretton Woods institutions, and the voting rights at the IMF do not allow one member, one country vote, but are quota driven. That is based on the quota that each country has, based on the dollar contributions that each country makes. And the US alone has the largest voting share of the quota, almost 16.5%, and the wealthy G7 command another 40% of the voting share in the IMF. As of March 2024, among Africa's 54 countries, which is Kenya is a part of, 31 have outstanding loans with IMF, but they have nothing remotely resembling a say in how the IMF is run. Now, this is because of the rate based of the contributions to the quota to the IMF, and it is said that the IMF is a Western dominated institution. Also, the structural adjustment program of the IMF provides the certain conditions before providing loans to these countries, that they have to reduce the government spending, they have to increase more of privatization, they have to cut down on the they have to increase the tax collection, and also they have to have export driven economies. So this is some of the conditions that the structural adjustment program of the IMF provide, and recently these changes were brought about in Kenya, and that is why Kenya was into protesting against the finance bill that started to implement all of these conditions, because Kenya accessed a loan from IMF because of the state of this economy. And these are some of the important issues that I wanted to share with you with regard to June 30th for your most important points for your preliminary examination of 2025. And the last one is about IMF giving a loan to Kenya and the structural adjustment program, and how the quota driven system of IMF ensures that the Western nations have a say in the bank and not the poorer countries. So if you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. And I shall see you tomorrow in another new list of important points for that particular day for your upcoming preliminary examination 2025. And until then, it's very happy learning.